The dangers of flying combat aircraft were apparent, but there was still the threat of danger for those on the ground as well.
They used to send us to one place called Batan to get bamboo to make small huts and offices and things like that. And one day we were there carrying bamboo and also picking up some mangoes, which is a fruit that I'm sure you know very well, because the name of Mango de Manila comes exactly from Manila, which is the land of the mangoes. We were carrying bamboo and eating mangoes. Suddenly we heard one shoot, and one of my friends got the bullet on the elbow. Immediately we grab our arms and get ready, but we couldn't see nothing.
At this time, the Japanese in the hills were starving, and the Squadron 201 members witnessed the Filipino hatred of their enemy.
Trying to get something to eat, sometimes they go and wearing a uniform of Philippine people. Probably they kill them first and then they wear the uniform. They were trying to get something to eat because they were starving. But something very peculiar is that the Philippines, they by the smell or by something that I cannot say, they knew exactly that he was not a Philippine guy. And oh, it was horrible the way they treat these people. We used to have a small, in order to eat, we have a plate that bends and it was a flat thing. And when we went for our lunch, we used to have the small knife, a fork, and a spoon. And with these three pieces, they make pieces of the Japanese, the Philippine people. So you can realize how was the feeling of these people.
Un día, estando haciendo cola para la cena, ya tarde.
One day, as we got in line for dinner, I noticed in line to eat with us were two Japanese in uniforms just like ours. Logical, right? Incidences like these we were not used to, but the guards were nice to them. They let them eat. Then they turned them in as prisoners.
Nuestras autoridades se comportaron muy bien con ellos porque incluso les dieron de cenar y luego ya los entregaron como prisioneros. En otra ocasión estábamos jugando voleibol en la tarde.
On another occasion, we were playing volleyball when we heard a commotion behind us. It was three Japanese. The ground crew had already surrounded them before I got there. One of our men said, "Let's kill them." I said, "We have no right to kill them. We must respect life. Let's turn them in as prisoners, and that will be the end of it." Surely this one Japanese understood some of what I had said, because as they were led away, one of them took off a handkerchief he had around his neck and handed it to me. At that moment, I wanted to throw it away, because it was dirty with grease and sweat.
Tuve la intención de tirarla porque era sumamente sucia. Con grasa, sudorosa y todo, ¿no?
I had the good fortune not to have done that, because when I cleaned it, I discovered the handkerchief was bordered by pictures of airplanes, with a map in the center. This, I believe, was a map of the area they were operating in.
Pero es un mapa de la área donde estaban operando.
The surrender of the Japanese army in the Philippines left a big impression on the young Mexican pilot.
We fought the whole campaign of Luzon until Yamashita surrendered for the first time. That was surprising. Surrendered with 30,000 men at the northwest part of Luzon in a town called Apari. And we saw him flying, walking from Apari to Baguio, which was the summer capital of Luzon, where they were going to surrender. And it looked like a trail of ants, you know, 30,000 men. But other 30,000 men didn't show up because they were killed.
As the men prepared to be transferred to Okinawa for the invasion of Japan, the atom bomb was dropped. And one Squadron 201 member got a first-hand look at the devastation.
Y de ahí salimos y fuimos a Tokio. Y el piloto nos pasó y dimos unas vueltas sobre Nagasaki y sobre Hiroshima.
We left the base and headed for Tokyo. The pilot passed over Nagasaki and Hiroshima. It had only been 10 or 15 days since the bombs had been dropped. We had the opportunity to observe all the devastation. For me, as I remember, it looked like a wasteland, a garbage dump. It left a very great impression on me.
Una cosa realmente muy impresionante.
As Squadron 201 prepared for the journey home, they built a monument for those left behind, those who had made the ultimate sacrifice.
Ya al final de la guerra fue cuando sacamos una excitativa para ver cómo hacíamos un monumento.
At the conclusion of the war, we got together to see how we could make a monument that would be left as a testament to our fallen comrades. This was realized with a group of fellow pilots and members of the ground personnel.
Un grupo de amigos del escuadrón de tierra y el monumentito tiene en la parte superior.
This little monument had as its focal point an eagle that was made by a Filipino named Tolentino. Even though we didn't have the proper materials, thanks to him, the statue has the shape of a monument.
El monumento tiene una figura de monumento, porque lo contrario parecería una lápida de cementerio, ¿no? El monumento es muy modesto, pero...
I took my friends to a glass factory and picked out red, white, and green glass, the colors of the Mexican flag. At first glance, it is not noticeable, but I believe it is appreciated by all the people that visit it.
De buenas a primeras. Pero me consta que ha sido muy visitado por gente que vaya.
During the trip back, the best part when we land in San Pedro, California, that my God, it's fabulous to put your feet in earth once again and know that you're very near from the end of something that you didn't want it by your own will. Something that happened because it was like that. And in a few days I was going to be right in my own country.
The return home was celebrated in typical Mexican fashion. The squadron had lost several men, but for the majority that did return, a hero's welcome awaited them. Pride in their country and dedication to a cause